Guys, can you just knock it off? I'm trying to do a movie review.
Sorry.
Welcome back to the channel and to my movie review of His House, which was added to Netflix yesterday. A refugee couple are granted asylum in England after barely escaping war-torn South Sudan. They are given a house to live in, but is there something else already living in their home? His House is a horror drama from debut director Remi and was also written by Weeks alongside Felicity and Tony Venables, and it stars Sope, Dirisu, Wunmi Mosaku and Matt Smith. So this is a horror drama with a strong emphasis on the drama. Before anything supernatural actually happens, we see that Bol and Rial are both haunted by the things that they've seen and done in their past. The ghosts are already with them before they literally manifest. They're both dealing with PTSD, grief and guilt, something which can haunt any of us. His House is really trying to say something about the hostility which refugees face on entering this country, a topic which has cropped up time and time again lately in the press. The film reflects the way in which some people view refugees, that they are somehow less than us. This is very clear in an early scene where the couple are offered a house before a panel. The panel are framed an uncomfortably long distance away from Bol and Rial, almost as if they're infected, and they speak to them as if they're animals, refusing to engage them on a human level as Bol tries to explain that they're both good people. The house they're offered and the town and surrounding neighbours are unpleasant and very inhospitable. It's clear they're not welcome, and then the house shows them just how unwelcome they are. Rial discovers that they're being haunted by an apath, a witch, and we're told via a folktale that these apaths latch themselves to thieves. So the couple both see manifestations of this witch and the ghost it's presenting to them in the walls, in the shadows, and the couple's relationship starts to strain as they both deal with this in a different way. Bol wants to do his best to integrate into this new culture and society and forget the past, whilst Rial is totally opposed to this. And with the witch's constant reminders of their past, a wedge is driven between the two characters. Rial cannot face the past, and Bol refuses to even try. There are some effective scares here, but it feels to me more like a drama than a horror primarily. All the scares are born from the characters' guilt and grief, even if they are manifested through the more tangible apath. Some of these scares are a little bit over the top and a little bit obvious. I think the film in general would have benefited from a bit more subtlety to its horror. The film's got so much going on, it didn't need to go quite so overboard at times, I felt. You've got the typical ghosts in the corner, in the shadows, whispering in the walls, banging in the walls, and a fairly cheap fake jump scare early on, which we've all seen before. That's not to say there aren't any scary moments. If you're not particularly experienced with horror, this will probably scare the shit out of you. This film really seeps into your brain. I found it very watchable to begin with. The two leads are absolutely fantastic and the direction is very strong. About the 2/3 mark, it was beginning to lose me just a touch. The scares had kind of lost all their power, and I needed it to change gear a bit. I couldn't really see where it was going. But then, kind of out of the blue, there is an absolutely masterful reveal which totally flips the film. No spoilers here, I'm not going to get into it, but it is one of those genuinely holy shit moments that us film fans love. If you've seen His House, let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. And where does it rank in your horrors of 2020? One of the absolutely strongest aspects of this film is the cast. The two leads, Sope Dirisu and Wunmi Mosaku, are both absolutely mesmerising. They have a lot to do, portraying a lot of turmoil in their lives, this guilt, this grief, all this emotion, the memories, and of course trying to find a home. Matt Smith has a relatively small role, but I think he's very strong in this, and I hope he starts to get a few more roles now he's finished with the Crown. I feel like he ought to be getting bigger roles than this one. Remi has shot a stunning looking debut film here. Considering there are so few locations and we're pretty much within the same four walls through the whole film, the creativity of the cinematography is very good. The film is fantastically lit too. The ghosts are often lurking in the corners of rooms in the shadows, and they often disappear and reappear at the flick of a light switch. This is the second new Netflix horror I've reviewed this week. Please check out my review of Cadaver to find out why I can't recommend it quite as strongly as His House. So I liked a lot about His House. If you're going in expecting a sinister or insidious, you're likely to be let down. This is not a straight horror. Much like a horror such as The Babadook, this is a film where the horror comes from the drama of the characters. Their personal struggles are manifested on screen by ghosts and the witch, but their real life horrors are just as terrifying. There are some pacing issues here and I became a little bit numb to the effects of the repetitive scares, but overall there is a lot to enjoy here, mainly the two leads, the story and the confident direction. My score for His House is 7.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching.
Game over, man. It's game over.